The UK is on the verge of financial ruin. I don't say that lightly. I say that with absolute dread in my voice since I live in this country. And I will explain what I mean by Britain is on the verge of financial ruin. Wednesday, the day just gone, and I'm recording this in the early hours of Thursday morning so I can get this video up and running. Pension funds crisis forces 65 billion bailout by the bank. British pensions funds were on Wednesday at the centre of a financial crisis sparked by the mini budget forcing the Bank of England to launch a £65 billion emergency bailout. The Bank of England had to act to save this worthless Tory government of absolute stupidity before the pension funds collapsed, damaging millions of British pensioners. The bank warned of a material risk of UK's financial stability and stepped in to buy long-term gilts as plunging markets for UK debt saw borrowing costs spiralling and forcing pension funds to dump their assets. Economists compared the crisis to the run of withdrawals that led to the collapse of Northern Rock in the financial crisis. Do you understand? Economists have mentioned that this is as bad as the Northern Rock collapse. Now, I'm sure many of you British Muslims who understand what I'm saying, this is really fucking bad. However, the move by the Governor Andrew Bayliss helped restore some calm to the markets. Pension experts said retirement pots were not directly under threat. They always say that because they want to make people calmer. Nevertheless, worries that Mr Quanting's radical mini-budget will trigger further shocks for investors in gilts wiped billions of pounds off the stock market value of Britain's biggest pension funds. On Wednesday night, pressure was mounting on the Chancellor to take more action to reassure markets as Downing Street dismissed any suggestion that he will resign. Senior bankers warned Mr Quanting in a crisis meeting Wednesday morning that his scheduled announcement of medium-term fiscal planning to bring public borrowing under control was way too far away. Lord Clark, Chancellor under John Major, told the ITV Petson's programme on Wednesday night, "I've never known a budget cause a financial crisis like this, and I think the government and the Bank of England are still going to have to act to calm it down to get us back to normality." Liz Truss and her current cabinet are absolutely bonkingly incompetent at running anything that remotely looks like a country. These people haven't got a clue. You have to realise that we need a general election, and we need to think like we need a general election, and we need to plan for a general election. Now, I'm not a fan of the Labour Party at the best of times. I'm not a fan of Keir Starmer, but let me be absolutely clear. He is the lesser of two evils. He will fix our country as a technocrat, unlike the psychotic behaviour of the Tory party that has been slashing and burning everything in their path. We need to get it through our skull that these people have absolutely destroyed our country and are still trying to destroy our country to line their pockets. British Muslims, you need to be more politically motivated. And I mean, we're talking doomsday financial problems. The Treasury has no idea. It's led by a pack of idiots. It's led by morons who have no idea what they're doing. There is no need for these kind of terminated financial problems that we are going through whilst we are still recovering from the financial crises of COVID. We're still recovering from the problems of the war in Iraq, the war in Ukraine. We are still financially dealing with the fallout of the Brexit not being done. These are the problems that Britain face. And this woman and her cabinet have not got a fucking clue. Not a single one of them. Not even a gerrymandering's naffy sandwich of a clue. And these are the people running our country. My British Muslim brothers and sisters, stock up on food, stock up on all forms of essentials. Realise that the pound value is dropping. Move as much of your assets as you physically can into small silver coins and gold. Practical advice that will save you from losing the value of your savings. Transfer Britain, please pass this to your elderly brothers and sisters. Please pass these to the Akis. Please pass this to your fathers who have got savings. Pull out the savings, purchase British Mint silver, British Mint gold. They're not that expensive. Move your assets out of pound holding pension funds. I am deadly serious about this, British Muslims. Deadly, deadly serious. This is probably the most sound advice I can give my British ummah. Do not rely on the pound being able to survive the idiocracy of the Tory party. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This wasn't even a video I wanted to do. I had other things lined up and now they've had to be pushed to a back burner so I can explain to you, you need to move your financial assets out of the pound's holdings. Pensions are based upon gilts that involve the pound and the sterling itself. Move as much of your financial wealth that you can, or liquidable cash that you have, into hard things like silver and gold. I'm deadly serious. And place your savings in a safe location that is not in a bank. So move those silvers and golds out of banks. Place them inside your house. I have my own. I genuinely do. In fact, I'll make a point of showing you them. This is not meant as a boast, brothers and sisters. This is me merely using my noggin on some of my savings. So this is what I call a silver coin. This is a British silver minted coin. I've got a stack of these. I've got stacks of them from my time. And having these is a means of ensuring your own wealth. It's a means of protecting your finances that you have earned, that are yours to maintain and to move your currency as you wish. Now, this is a wise and standard position to hold yourself, brothers and sisters. Move your wealth in the UK inside specifically financially beneficial points of view, because this party have no idea what they're doing, because this government is running monetary funds to improve the lives of the rich, because they know in 2024 at the earliest they're going to be out of a job. They're going to be completely out of a job. And in fact, the Tory party know that they are beyond buggered, because they're not going to get re-elected. No one, not even blue Tory sections of the UK want the Tory party in power. So this is a fundamental reality that you're looking at. The Tory party has lost the plot and they are trying to raid the British financial means by whatever means necessary. And to any Briton who sees this, I don't think there are many that actually follow my page. But if you do and you're not religious, listen to what I'm saying. Gain some financial solvency. Take the moment to finance what you're doing. Move your currency into holdable materials. Move them away from the banks, because this type of lunacy that I've just read from you, from the press, the bank holds, like another part of this, the bank hopes to hold a domino effect in the city, temporarily suspending plans to offload 80 billion of gilts held on its balance sheets. Instead, for 13 days, it will revert to buying them at a rate of 5 billion per day, using newly created money in processes known as quantitative easing. So the bank was offloading up to 80 billion of gilts into the market itself. It stopped doing that. It's reversed that. And for the next 13 days, it's going to be purchasing to try and save the country's economy. The Bank of England, I can't remember the last time the Bank of England made intervention to save the British pound. I'm 40 and I can't remember that. Now, it probably did happen when I was younger, but I don't remember it. The pound is roughly £1.9 to the dollar at the moment, at the recording of this, 1.9 to the dollar. These are going to affect mortgages. These are going to affect pensions. These are going to affect means earnings of the weakest parts of society. And Liz Truss and her current government do not give, and I'm sorry to swear, a shit about any of you. So you need to start thinking very selfishly about yourselves. Take your finances, move them away from move them away from the pound, place them into silver, place them into gold, ship them out of the banks, into the mint to you. It takes about 30 days. Have it stored. Because when all this crisis goes round and you've stored a chunk of your money into this, you would have benefited your country, not your country, fuck your country. You've benefited your family. You've benefited your society, your community. You have hard currency that is recognised anywhere in the world. And these are the things that we need to pay attention to. On an addendum, whilst you're still operating in the pound, buy stocks of food, dry stocks, rice, pasta, tins, things like that. I cannot stress this enough because of the danger we are in with these absolute lunatics who are leading our country. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.